Okay, we're back. Welcome to episode 6 of the Mom Fuel and Mindset podcast. I'm Jess, and this is
Chrissy.
and we are your hosts, and we're excited that you are back for another episode. This week, we are talking about, we actually asked our friends, our followers, to give us some input if there are any topics or things that you would want us to talk about and discuss. And we actually did get a comment. We had somebody asked us to talk about the 3 F's. The 3 F's being focus, forgetfulness, and fear. So we thought that this would be a fun, maybe not fun, but a good topic to share and talk about with you guys. And know that we love feedback. We want the feedback. We want your suggestions. We want to put out things that you need, things that you want to hear our thoughts on. So we're going to share with you our thoughts on the 3 F's: focus, forgetfulness, and fear, and we hope that you get something out of it. I'm going to start with focus. Is that good?
Yes, let's do it.
Focus is where your energy goes. So what we focus on grows. What we focus on becomes, right? So that can be good or bad, right? If we are focusing on stress, comparison, guilt, all the negative things in our life, that is going to continue. This is a very important lesson that I want everybody to understand, is that our mindset, Mom Fuel and Mindset, our mindset matters. And if we focus only on the negative, it's going to breed more negative, right? Motherhood is difficult. We've said it before. We'll say it again. There's so much that comes with motherhood that if we focus only on the hard parts of motherhood, that's all we're going to see. But what if we, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not, I don't have enough, I don't give my kids enough. That's going to continue to be where our energy goes. What is the difference between intentional focus and reactive focus? How do we, as moms, allow our focus to be super intentional? You'll hear us use the words intention all the time. How can we be intentional with our focus, with our kids, with our families, with ourselves? Because it's important that we make time to focus on ourselves. That tends to be something that we think is selfish. We struggle with that. Like, if you've ever struggled with that, raise your hand, comment, like this video. Like, we struggle with ourselves. We just talked in the last episode about being strong, like being so strong that it takes a toll on us because we struggle with focusing on our own selves, our own well-being, our own physical health, our own mental health. Focus is not a form of self-care. Like, it's not, or is a form of self-care. I'm sorry. It's not selfish. Like, focus, we need to be intentional with focusing on ourselves. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think we need to focus on not only ourselves, but what our kids are doing too. The same holds true.
Yeah.
If we only focus on the negative and all the things that our kids are doing wrong, that is what is going to grow.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we focus on, we get more of. So if we continue to correct behavior, undesired behavior, we're going to continue to get that undesired behavior. So let's flip it. Let's find the things that they are doing well. Because if we focus on the things that they're doing well, that will grow. So the same holds true for not only ourselves, but our little ones at home, our teenagers or adult children, whatever your story is, it matters. So really focusing on what we want more of and trying to let go of the stuff that I'm not saying you don't address it, because you do have to address unsafe behavior. You do have to address disrespect or whatever it is that you're dealing with. And we can also focus on the opposite side of that, if that's what we want to grow.
Yeah. It's interesting that you bring that up, because I'll even take it one step further and say, like, the same thing with your spouse. Like, when Jimmy and I were at, our lowest point, when we were separated, always all I saw in him was the negative. I literally struggled with, when I went to therapy, and I was like, he doesn't treat me like I'm his best friend. He doesn't do like all of these things. And she looked at me and she said, but what about the good? What does he do that you love? What made you fall in love with him? What do you like about him? And then she asked me a question that we'll address on another episode, but she asked, are you those things for him? And I was like, my gosh, like it changed my whole mindset, changed my whole perspective on it. And I was like, holy crap. Like I was only seeing the negative. Like I saw him taking the garbage out as that's your responsibility, not thank you for taking the garbage out. Him mowing the lawn, that's your job. That's what you do. No, thank you for mowing the lawn. Like, can we change to see the good in a different perspective? Same thing with the kids, right? Your homework's your responsibility. But if they get it done, like, hey, nice job on your homework. Without an issue, like thanks for helping. Thanks for doing this. Like I found focusing on like just the most, excuse my language, the dumbest stuff. Like really like the simplest things that they could do. If I could find just even the littlest positive reinforcement, do it. Like it sounds crazy thanking somebody for taking the garbage out, but I wanted to do it. Like, thanks, Deeks, for helping me. He's like, sure, okay. But does it change something in there, right? If we focus on the good, will more good, because does he feel now good because you found something good in him? Instead of
Well,
constantly beating down the constant negative, you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you got to get better, you got to use your head, you got to, all these things. That's all they hear. And that's more of what, like more of the behavior that you get.
that's their inner self-talk now, though. The more
Correct.
you talk at them like that, that shapes that, right?
Mhm.
And then now you have an adult who feels like they're never good enough, they can't do anything right. And this isn't to put anybody, I don't want to shame anybody or make anybody feel bad because like
Yeah.
we've all been there. And it's just
Yes.
bringing the awareness to it and understanding the power behind focusing on the good, even when it's really hard to find the good, right? And I would take it a step further too, just like when you say good job or when you say like what was good about it though, what did you see them do? You did your homework by yourself, and I know that was hard for you.
Yeah.
You did it, and then that inner self-talk was like, wow, I can do hard things. I can
Yes.
do something, and I'm
Yes.
capable. So the way that we talk to our kiddos, the way that we talk to ourselves, the way that we talk to our spouses matters. And that sometimes the way that we talk to our spouses, that interaction between adults sometimes is more important than the direct interaction between you and your child, because they're
Yeah.
seeing a healthy relationship, right?
Yes.
And so
Yes.
understanding all the different dynamics here at play, and ultimately it goes right back to what we focus on, we get more of. So if you want more positive, if you want more desired behavior, let's
Right.
focus on that. Because the brain, when you say don't run, the brain hears run,
Right.
right? I think of myself, I work full time in a school. So instead of saying don't run to kids that are running down the hall, I am now saying walk, please, with your hands by your side like this. And you show them and you tell them what you want instead of focusing on what you don't want. That
Yes.
simple shift makes all the difference.
I'm writing that down. Tell them what you want versus what you don't want. That's powerful.
And it's not easy and it doesn't come like overnight. And you're
And by
gonna
the way, it's not easy.
It's not. It's changing the way that we communicate. And
Right.
so understanding that and then catching yourself when you're like, oh, let me try that
Shoot.
again. Let me try
Right.
that again.
It is hard. I think that we are just, I mean, society as a whole is very negative. We always jump to the negative. We always, everything is negative. And so it's very easy to fall into that trap of talking in a more negative,
Mhm.
aspect. Discipline, we see discipline as a negative thing. So it tends to come out of our mouth in a negative way. But of what discipline can be, like discipline is valuable. Like, what if we can be grateful for the discipline because it's changing, our path? It's changing the way that we, could possibly get hurt, could possibly, whatever. So, if we change the view on what discipline is and what it's doing for our kids, we understand that it has a powerful, positive impact on our children, then we need to convey it in a positive way because discipline is not a bad thing. It's
Right.
teaching, it's growing, it's a good thing. So it doesn't have to come out of our mouth in a negative way. Discipline can be very positive. And I love that you said that. Tell them what you want versus what you don't want because it is like we need to find that positive spin on. Jimmy and I talk about this all the time. Like I don't want Deegan to constantly be this, Deegan, don't do this. Deegan, slow down. Deegan, control your body. Deegan, right? Like we have to find ways to convey this because it is important. He does need to learn how to control these things. But what if we can convey it in a way that it's a positive or teach him tools to help him? When you feel out of control, what is something that you can do? Like that sounds a lot better than Deegan, control your body. Deegan, you got to control your body. Deegan, slow down. Deegan, like all of these things. It just we have the power to turn a positive spin on things. To ultimately, the goal is to not negatively impact his mental health or that inner communication to himself, that inner voice when he's older.
And just two things, and I know we probably have to get to our next topic, but
Yeah.
I could talk about this stuff all day.
No.
One, it's generational. So we often are raising our kids the way that we were raised. So switching something like this, focus on what you want and what rather than what you don't want, is hard. It's our second language. So
Right.
it's going to take time to learn, but it can be our kids' first language. So when they have their own kids, they're not having to relearn all this stuff. So it's generational. That is definitely one thing that I think is important to remember. And then second, all undesired behavior is a result of an unmet need or a lack of skill. They don't have the skill to do what you're asking them to do. So we
Right.
have to teach them the skill,
Yes.
right? And
Yes.
so that's another piece of it because discipline is not going to fix a missing skill. Discipline is not going to fix an unmet need. If a kid is behaving in a certain way because they don't feel seen, heard, or valued, and you put them to their room because they're misbehaving and you don't want to deal with them, that just reinforces that I don't feel seen, heard, or valued. So I'm not saying that that is definitely always what's happening, but that's just an example. So really understanding what is the what's causing the behavior and understanding it's a result of an unmet need and or a missing skill. And so we have to teach them if we want something different. Again, focusing on what we want.
I'm actually a little stressed about fitting all these into one episode because this is such a good conversation. I'm struggling moving on, and I'm going to move on. But I think we forget that it is our job to teach these kids skills, life skills. Like we are just how we get on autopilot. Feed the kids, make sure they get to school and make sure they get their homework done, make sure but we forget that it is every day. Like you're never, and the years fly by. We know this. Like the days may be long, but the years are short. And ultimately, our job is to meet their needs and help them learn these life skills. Teach them, guide them, not just make sure their bellies are full and, they get a good night's sleep. And I think we forget that piece sometimes because we can just get into autopilot. And then, the same behavior over and over again, it can bat us down. But how can we change? And I'm going to move on, but we're going to, this is a good conversation. All right. Forgetfulness, losing sight of who you are. Forgetfulness is definitely, I think that as moms, I will always turn this back to forgetting who we are, right? Like forgetting who we are, losing touch with our own needs, our own desires, our own identity. When I work with moms regularly, and when I ask them they don't know who they are. I don't know who I am. Outside of motherhood, I don't. I've lost my identity. And so what parts of yourself have you been neglecting or forgetting? Forgetfulness is a state. Do we tend to be forgetful throughout our day? Like what does forgetfulness look like in our lives? I think that it's important to understand that forgetfulness is because of something. It's because we're not putting that focus. We'll bring this back to focus. We're not putting that focus on ourselves, on our specific needs, and we're losing sight of ourselves. And so what part of you have you been forgetting? What part of you are you neglecting? When was the last time that you did something for you? When is the last time that you really, again, I'm going to bring this back to focus, but when's the last time that you focused on yourself so that we can maybe start to heal that forgetfulness? I don't know if you have another take on forgetfulness.
Yeah, I think, I'm just taking it literal. I am freaking forgetful. I mean, that's bottom line. And I think part of it is because of social media and always kind of on all the time, whether if it's on the phone or at work or with the kids or at a basketball game or doing this or doing that. It's like you got all these things going on and that you don't remember other things, right? And so that's a piece where I struggle with. I feel like I'm just so stinking forgetful. Why can't I remember where I put my phone? Why can't I remember? I have a watch and you can ding it to find your phone. I use that all the time because I can never remember where I put it. Where did I put my keys? Where did I put my coffee? I have a radio at work and they literally put my name on it because I will leave it everywhere. And then I'm like tracking down, where did I leave my radio? It's like, so I think when for me it's, I mean, I have I told you before, I have two grown children, grown stepson as well. I'm a bonus mom, but then I have a teenager who I split 50-50. So we have her 50% of the time, we don't have her 50% of the time, right? So I'm not as like to the grind in motherhood as I used to be. Okay. So I say that all to say, like, I'm still super busy though, and I'm still going to all our games. I'm still doing all the things. I work full time. I'm a social worker. I do all the things. And so I think we sometimes put so much on our plates that we tend to, it overfloweth. It just
Mm-hmm.
overflows. And for me, the way that it comes out for me, instead of being like snappy and zero to Ursula, like Jess talked about, for me, it's like I forget stuff everywhere. I don't know, remember why I walked into a room. I don't know what I was doing right before I did something. I might start a task and get super distracted and move on to something else. So for me, it's because my cup is just too full with all the things.
Right.
And being a yes ma'am instead of saying no or having
Right.
boundaries or whatever it is that we've previously talked about. So I think forgetfulness can be different, right? You can forget who you are outside of being a mom. You can forget who you are outside of your work, outside of being a spouse.
Well, and I think that that connects right to what you said, right? Like, is our cup too full? And so we have forgotten who we are. Do we say yes so much and we don't pour back into ourselves? We don't take that time for ourselves that we're literally forgetful and also figuratively forgetful where we have forgotten, why we married this person. We're at each other's throat. We forgot why we're here. We forget that we're, in control of these kids in a way that, like, we have a powerful position where we are as moms to be able to raise these kids and help them understand and learn these life skills and tools. Did we forget that piece because we're so in, I'm sorry, there's a football game on right now, and my it sounds like the people upstairs are going to come through my ceiling. So I think that, if we are not intentional with focusing on what really matters, where we are, the important things, forgetfulness can be rooted in our lives in a literal way where we're forgetful and, in a way that just has us forgetting some very core values of who we are, what we want, and how do we get there? Which leads us into, the silent driver behind so many choices,
Mm-hmm.
the fear behind so many choices. Because if we are in a forgetful state, if we're not able to focus, like, there are things that is fear a factor in holding us back from what we want, where we are? What factor is fear playing in our lives?
Yes. I think it plays a fact. I think it's a big factor in many people's lives, right? I think fear holds a lot of people back. And whether if it's, going out on a date if you're a single parent, if it's applying for the job, if it's moving, if it's whatever. I think oftentimes fear, there is a very specific purpose for fear. That's to keep us safe, right? Saying, nope, nope, this is outside of your comfort zone, abort mission, don't do it.
Right.
Often, oftentimes we let that drive us and we miss out on things that we might like really love. I think it's really figuring out what is the purpose behind why I'm not doing, like, why am I not doing what I want to be doing? What is holding me back? And if it's fear, what's that about? And again, I'm going to go back to what's the worst that's going to happen if you do
Right.
it, if you don't let fear take control and you do the
Yes.
dang thing. What is the worst that is going to happen?
I like how you said, what are some things that we could be missing out on that, you could love? But what if we don't even realize how good these things are on the other side of
Mhm.
this fear?
Yeah.
What if it's beyond our wildest? Many of you probably know or don't know, but my family and I moved across the country this year. Like, it was something beyond my wildest dreams. I had no idea what life would look like. It's not something I could have ever even dreamed of, and so fear could have easily held us back. Fear of judgment, fear of letting people down,
Mhm.
fear of choosing us, there's so many things that fear could have played a factor in and probably did. Like, I shed a lot of tears this last year, which I would probably consider out of fear
And
because,
you still did it though.
oh, correct. And that's what we really have to understand that fear is going to keep us stuck. Like if you are unable to address the fear, you're not going to make forward progress.
Mhm.
Fear's job, like Chrissy said, is to keep us safe. It is keep us stuck in the familiar because our subconscious and our brain does not want us, change is uncomfortable, and uncomfortable to our brain is bad. And so if we start to get uncomfortable, then oh my gosh, fear is going to come in and say, no, 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 no. It's like, what's that? What's the kids movie? Yes, Bradley loves those movies, right? And and they're funny. Like the little
Spot
emotions,
on.
they are funny. And fear's like, no, I don't think we should do that. That looks very scary. I don't think she should go in there. And it's funny to think like of our brains with, these cute little characters up there, but it's very true. Like, no, no, I don't think you want to do that. That seems very scary. And we don't like scary. We don't like change. We don't like that. But what if the change is healthy? What if it means a healthier relationship? What if it means a healthier connection? What if it means there's all these things? We have to understand that fear is not safe because you could be staying in a situation because fear has you there. That is not good for you. That's not healthy. That's not safe. That's not good. That's not forward progress. If fear is currently influencing your choices, what is happening? Like, what is the outcome of those choices? Are they choices that you like and that you want? Are they good choices? Is it living a life that you want? Like, fear, if you could do something differently, if fear wasn't a factor, what would you do? Would you make that choice if you weren't afraid? And then why do we let fear hold us back?
And this doesn't really have anything to do with fear, but it made me think of it. Like prior to doing the work that I've done, I was stuck and I was living in autopilot. And then it wasn't until I surrounded myself with a group of people who were essentially three steps of where I saw myself. And
Yeah.
like were living the life that I wanted. And I was like, if I want this, I need to have these people surround me. I want these people to become my people so I can rise to where they are. And
Yeah.
so I chose my circle according to where I wanted to go. And so if fear is holding you back, if you do want to grow, surround yourself with people that are growing. Surround
Yeah.
yourself with people that are smarter than you, that are doing more things than you, because that's going to help you rise. That's going to help you move past the fear and have a group of people there for you when it gets hard or when you doubt yourself, right? So that is a big part of this as well.
Yeah. The support and community. I've said like we're not meant to do things alone, right? Like we thrive in community as humans, as people who, just connection. Like we are not meant to live. There's got to be some studies like and this would be your area of expertise about isolating people and
Mhm.
how that affects their mental health. But if you put them in a community of people who are, thriving, who have positive mindsets, who are successful, who are, growth minded,
Mhm.
they can positively impact that. So we're not meant to be isolated. We're not meant to live in this fear of, am I failing as a mom? Am I being going to be judged? Am I not moving fast enough? Am I not chasing my dreams? Am I not prioritizing myself? Am I not, I don't want to repeat the patterns of my past. I don't want to parent the way that I was parented, but I feel alone. How many moms feel alone? This is why I will share my story over and over and over again until people unfollow me because I want moms to know that they're not alone. There was a time in my life I felt like I was the only one in the world who was struggling, and I don't know why. Maybe because social media makes everybody look like they're living the life of their dreams. Maybe because, we live in such a world where we are our nervous systems are taking in way too much information all the time and we shouldn't. And it just had me in overload. And I felt like my marriage is failing. I'm butting heads with my kids all the time. This is not the kind of mom that I want to be. I'm overweight. I drink too much. I'm just not healthy. I don't like who I am. I don't like who I am. And I didn't really have a crazy, like, bad childhood. Like, why am I like this? And fear of judgment, fear of, I have loving people in my life. Like, why would I end up like this? Kept me from being able to ask for help until it got so bad that I was like, I need help. I don't want to be like this. I don't want to feel like this anyway. And now I want to make it my life's mission to have moms everywhere. If you feel like that, you're not alone. There is community. Get yourself in community. I think isolation breeds isolation, right? When we feel like we're alone, we want to stay alone. We don't seek community. And that is the single greatest thing you could do. Support and community is huge. Surrounding yourself with people who are where you want to be. If you're not there yet, that's okay. If you want to be sober and you're not there yet, that's okay. Go join sober communities. Get yourself around people who are sober. If you want to change the way you parent and you want to be around other people, other moms who have gone through struggles, go find moms. Reach out, start opening your mouth. It's okay to share these things. When we become open and honest and we have more real conversations just like this, we surround ourselves with people who understand and grow and who want to be around other people with the same. Fear will keep you isolated. It will keep you from making the choices that can change your life. And if fear is currently influencing your choices, I would encourage you to really find where that's coming. Where's that rooted? Where's this fear rooted from? Is it just your brain trying to keep you safe because change is uncomfortable? Fear steals focus. And if we're not able to understand the fear and the way that it's holding us back, we're not going to be able to bring it back to focus. Focus on the things that really matter to us.
Yes. Yes, yes.
I think that we should, how are we doing on time here?
I think we're at time.
We're at time. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have 3 things here that we want to leave you with. The first one is we would like you to finish these sentences. I want to focus more on, and you write in what you would like to focus more on. The second one is, I need to remember that I am. And the third one is, I'm ready to release the fear of. And I just want to leave you with, we talk a lot about things that we want to bring awareness to. And Chrissy said, this is no judgment, right? Like this, if this is something that you're not currently doing, or there's behavior that you are currently doing, that's okay. Like our goal is to literally bring awareness to things that we've literally lived through, things that we've done and changed. And we want to have these real conversations. We're like Planet Fitness here. We're a judgment-free zone. Okay. We're just a couple of moms that have been through some things and we want to share what helped us and what awareness changed for us. And so you don't have to fix everything. You're human. Like she said, this is a second language for us. We have to learn. We have to, we're not going to get it right all the time. I literally just apologized to Deegan a day ago, yesterday, the day before, because my reaction was not what I wanted to be. But instead of just continuing to take the behavior out on him, I stopped myself and said, dude, I'm sorry. I should not have reacted like that. And he was like, oh, that's okay. I said, give me a hug. Like, I need a hug. And, it's the awareness. We're learning. We're human. That's it. So
give yourself grace.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that. Just give yourself grace. Find your community. I know that wasn't one of the 3, but consider who you want to spend time with, right? And if the people that you're currently spending time with are not lifting you up or not moving you to the next level, that's okay. And find your community.
And it's also okay to find a community. Like it's okay to surround yourself with different people. Fear can also hold us back from that. I'm changing, which means the people around you could change as well. You can still have your people and you can still have your friends, your family, whatever, but it's okay to evolve. It's okay to change. It's okay to want more. It's okay to want to parent differently. It's okay to change your circle a little bit and, spend more time with people who are pulling you towards results that you want, whether it be in, your personal life, your parenting life, whatever. Like it's okay to surround yourself with different people.
Yes.
All right. I think on that note, we are going to wish you a great day, a great week. If you like this, we ask that you like our video, subscribe to our podcast, subscribe to our YouTube channel, leave us reviews, and then certainly give us any feedback. If there's things that you want us, this was a friend had asked us to talk about this, and we love doing these. So if you have something, a topic or a situation that you would like us to chat about here on Mom Fuel Mindset, there's our timer. We hope that you have a great week and come back for episode 7.
Thank you.